Hello and welcome back to Mzansi back again. It is that time of the night where we have to talk about what happened in that case of Senzo Meyiwa, or the case of the state. I don't know what to call it anymore, but it is what it is. We are still looking for what we call justice. I don't know. It's justice for everyone now that is involved as yet, including Senzo himself. So but the fact is, we did say there's no link. Let's not sugarcoat that thing.
No, they're trying to work themselves away.
Let's not sugarcoat that thing. I mean, how is that caught?
I was dumbfounded and I got confused. I almost lost my way. And Mr. Anonymous is like, no, there's no link. There was no such.
He said it. He said it. There's a point where he said it, in fact.
He said it. He even said it has a statement. He never said it's Stain's statement. All of that halabulu running around, going near and far, back and forth.
Pretending as if there's something while there's nothing.
And did you see the media run with it?
Obvious.
The media ran with it.
Guess who they gave that whatever document that was there to? Nisi.
Lindam
Nisi. Why? Why not give it to Griselda?
Don't know.
The ever-present journalist.
I don't know.
He sits behind them so that he can go write or publish. But it's fine. The truth of the matter, let us not downplay this thing. Let us not try to make it look good or, there's a comeback. No, there was no comeback. There was no link.
Communication between accused number 3 and Kelly. If there was, Stain would have testified about it. Holes would have testified.
And now he's saying there was a link because he's linking them with what the hell?
He's looking at the T diagram like a doodle.
What the hell is this man talking about? Like he jumps around. He's not even saying I made a mistake. No, there's a link. Now I believe these accused that they were coerced. I believe them.
You believe them?
I believe
them. The way
them.
he's so forceful about things that are false.
If you cannot admit your mistake, you make a mistake in public, you still come back, you want to have a way around it. What is the link and according to these people? Because Stain was not saying there was a communication. You were saying there was a link.
A linkage.
Yes. So now all of a sudden he comes here, he talks about, now the judge, this is where I made my mind about the judge. The judge seemingly has made his mind long time ago, in my opinion. This judge, he makes people read this thing. After reading this thing and realizing that, in fact, this is fighting for what is right. It is correct that there is no link. The judge says they must go and read that thing. And it's like putting water on a burning fire. Let's go read it. As if Nis is wrong. And I'm going to say this. Nis must not take this lying down. He must go back there tomorrow to put it on record. This man used this thing as a matter of fact.
Yes.
And if the record is not corrected, then it becomes that.
Yes.
He needs to correct it. That link of what I meant. I talk about the link. Yes, the link. So what was he saying? That there was a link between accused number 5 and there was a link between accused number 5 and accused number 3. Therefore, accused number, it's what we call, you remember that calculus, is it calculus? Transivity theorem.
Transitivity.
Yes. If this is equals to that is equals to this squeeze theorem. I forgot, but basically that's what it's saying. In a nutshell, if A is equals to B and B is equals to C, then C is equals to A. Let's put it like that. That's what it's saying.
That's not what is happening here.
Yeah, that's basically what he's saying.
But he's twisting it. That's not what's happening.
That's what I heard at the end. In a sense, that's what I'm feeling now. He's saying, I didn't mean that link. I didn't mean there was a communication. I meant the link. What link are you talking about? I meant I was able to link both of them. What exactly are you talking about? Is you were talking, you were sure there was a conversation. You were sure. Nisi even stood up when Ramsey was telling to clarify things. You know, to hell this man. He said
the
yes.
The judge even assisted. The judge tried to
we remember evidence. You know, so that we remember evidence that always happened.
He tried to hint and assist him, but he was so busy.
He was, this time around, he was like, are you sure there's a link? The guy said yes. Yes, I remember that.
The judge did.
Now today, it's all good and well. Whatever that this man explains, it's okay. But he's gonna say, leave it for argument. This man used this thing many times.
It's on record.
It's on record. It becomes that if you leave it like that, without rubbishing it. It becomes that. A link between accused number 3. Even papers were writing there was a link between accused number 3 and...
Yes, the papers ran on it the whole week last week. It was a thing. It was like...
Because it was new.
Khumalo is going to get arrested very soon because there's a link between her and accused number 3. And the confession of accused number 2 says that number 3 received a phone call from Khumalo.
They ran with it.
Just before they did the crime.
They ran with it. Now, who's going to clear that?
It's not going to be cleared.
Supposed to clear.
It's not going to be cleared. They're just going to move on like nothing happened.
No, they need to clear
And then it creates the confusion. And then we have some people who come and troll here and don't know what's going on.
Oh. Nisi was made to look like a crazy person, a maniac there in that court. Hey, whoa. Hey, whoa.
It is very distasteful how he decided to handle the manner or handle the situation. They tried to flip it all on Nisi, making it Nisi's fault. And then the audacity to speak about the quorum.
You have the guts. You have the guts that this judge is going to rule otherwise.
No, I don't see
this judge that is fighting such things.
No.
Where he's supposed to be quiet and listening to evidence. What evidence is he picking up, according to you? That the record was corrected, that there was no link? No. According to him, there was a link. Same as DNA. DNA was inconclusive while the DNA excluded everyone.
By the way, he's the one who made it inconclusive. That's not what the DNA experts
So you can't be making these much mistakes and then say, don't worry, at the end of the day, I'll make a correct decision. No way. You're step by step.
Especially when I saw how he handled the accused 1 and 2 while they were testifying about whether they made the confessions or not. And he did not even take notes. That is the time that I made up my mind that this judge is going to rule in the favor of the state.
These are the signs. What more do you want?
Honestly, when I was like, he's
according
not
to you, when have you heard the judge saying, actually you said 1, 2, 3.
Of taking notes, I didn't see it at all. It was
where have you heard him say, you've said 1, 2, 3, Ginind, why are you reversing to that? You know, you have never heard him say that, but you have heard him supporting everything that is done by the state.
He jumps in and becomes the mouthpiece of.
And then they are busy throwing shades to us. It's fine. We don't care. You know, we are here. We are public opinion. We don't care. We don't even want to be part of them. No. But we will point out the inconsistencies that we see because they are there. You can point at us. Tina, we are not going to go there and say, hey, the DNA was inconclusive, or we are going to... No, we are going to call it as it is because we sit down and try to compare and we have time. Unlike other people don't have time, maybe, who are preparing for this and that, and section what, you are referring them to a lot of case laws and whatsoever, so that they can be distracted. Tina, we don't look at those case laws. We look exactly at what is happening in that. So we are most probably going to be more informed. In fact, it's a good thing that they had to hide the pictures and everything that was beamed there because it would be a worse if we could see those things.
We would be analyzing them right
it
now.
It could be worse. We would be poking them one by one.
Beat by beat, step by step.
And that's what we do for living. We poke holes where we need to poke holes.
We analyze.
That's our stuff. We live for that. I go to work, I do that.
It's a
simple
thrill.
as that.
So if you are betting on thinking that because you're going to bash us every now and again,
forget.
That
we are here,
nothing.
and that goes to everyone, even the defense. Throw my shades. We are here. We will tell you if you shout to shout. The fact is, you'll always remember that we said that.
To think that there are some people who had sympathy for him.
Yes, and you'll go.
Did you hear him?
And you'll go there and you'll correct yourself. It's not by default that you correct yourself. It's because you are told when to shout, pull up your socks. We don't care.
Honestly,
you can call us names. We don't get paid by legal aid or anyone.
I don't care about the egos. I don't care for Ramasibili's ego. I care for Ntanzi. I care for the fact that if I was in his shoes and I saw my lawyer doing that, I would be very angry.
Yes.
That's what I care about.
Then you can throw as many shades as you can. We are not part of the case. We are part of the case, but we are outside. We are public opinion. It's up to you how you decide to analyze us after we've analyzed you. But we are going to pocket, and you will remember it even in your sleep. Hey man, these people are right. They are not lawyers, but they are right.
Fix it.
Fix it. And when you fix it, you will tell you, "Hi, chief." Exactly. That's You know why? Because we have information. We collect information here. We compare it. You don't have much time. That's why they will come every day and surprise you with what is this? Hey, this thing is part of what we was handed over to the defense, and you'll be like, huh? So now we will tell you what. Who's this? Stain did not say that.
He did not say that.
And you'll go check, you'll find that most of the time we are correct. It's not a sin. So when you can go there, you stable up a court, whether you don't care about the media, I still correct it. As long as you are still in public, even if you take another case and you do that, we will tell you, good chief, you are out of line.
No, you're out of order.
I mean, this South Africa, we are tired. Do you know that South Africa has people who do not want to be called into order? They believe they are demigod. We are not cowards. We just keep quiet.
But they're making us cowards. They think because we are quiet, we are cowards.
And then you start doing your things in your own way. You can go tell on us. We are not part of LPC, whatever that thing is.
LPC.
Whatever. We are not the gang.
Lawyers.
We are not the gang.
No, we're not.
And by the way, I don't have a group that you can report me on. Let's go. Let's continue.
So court started today with Judge Arata Mokwatleng reading a letter from a concerned citizen, okay? So I didn't know that they actually read those letters. People have been saying on the socials that they are writing letters. They are communicating.
By the way, it's not us.
No, it's not us.
We don't have time to write letters. We
are too occupied.
We're too occupied in trying to look into this evidence. We don't do that.
We don't have time for writing and drafting letters. So, guys, I don't think it's us. We are playing our role here in helping all of us understand what is going on in that court. Beyond that, I have no strength. I have no energy. Everyone else can carry their baton. Everyone else is more than welcome to do so. There's no gatekeeper here. We are all seeking justice for Senzo Meyiwa, okay? So, this letter they're saying is from a concerned citizen that was sent to the JP. It read, "I'm just an ordinary law-abiding South African citizen who is worried with what is going on with Senzo's case. Number one, if the case starts at 10 a.m., that will be an exception than a rule. Number two, notwithstanding the fact that the proceedings would have started at 10 or even 10:45, there would be a request for a short adjournment at 11:15. Number three, the said adjournment will be meant to take 15 minutes, but the same will take up to 25 minutes or so. The judge and advocate Advocate Baloyi laughed at this point. And number 4, and then at 1300 hours, there will be a request for a long adjournment until 2 o'clock, and this might take 15 more minutes. Number 5, at 3 or 3:30 latest, there will be a request for an adjournment for the day. JP, he said that the JP said, what are the standing orders? Okay, this person was asking the JP, what are the standing orders regarding hours that need to be spent at high courts? Have we forgotten that there are families that need closure, both the bereaved and the suspects? At this rate, how much will he said or will be said about the families and the interested people that have to wait before the outcome is known? Senzo's father passed on without knowing who killed his son. His mother, too, is not young anymore, and it looks like the same fate is awaiting her. I'm hereby pleading for your intervention in this regard. How polite is this? This is so polite. If I were to write such a letter, Bezizoduma, I don't think I would be so kind in writing or addressing such matters. But with me, I feel like this person was not a part of the court proceedings with Judge Shipua Maumela, because it was much worse than this. I think we are strong as Mzansi Reality, Mr. Anonymous, because of...
Whoa, don't count me in. Don't count me in. Count yourself in. I'm not going to lie to you.
Maumela,
This letter,
it was worse.
This letter is absolutely correct. I'm even surprised that people who were supposed to take it and read it and read it correctly, not interpret. You know what is worse is what after hearing this letter being read to us, and then people going and interpreting nonsense. These people, it's nonsense. It was nonsense.
The judge did take it left. He interpreted it in a completely
the
different
person,
manner.
what is it a lie that these people would go for 15 minutes adjournment and come back after 45 minutes? Is it a lie?
No.
I've got videos where I can prove. I mean, SABC One is recording this thing. Yes, SABC One also sometimes sleeps on the job, but yeah, these people normally they
Everyone
don't come
is
back.
getting strays.
No, it's not a lie. Why is this person made to look like he's crazy? He's not crazy, or she's not crazy. What he wrote here is correct. Indeed, these people would have an adjournment of 15 minutes, and then they'll come back after 45 minutes. And there's a proof. If they want a proof, there's a proof of the recordings. We are watching. We have watches and everything. They think we are dumb. Now they are talking about agents and whatnot. No, this person never mentioned that if you are sick, you should not take that thingy. He never. That's an interpretation. If you are failing to interpret a simple letter that's not written by a lawyer, a lay person writes a normal letter with a proper English, and then you fail to interpret, how are you going to interpret something that requires emotions and everything? You are failing to interpret this letter that, in fact, by the way, was not dedicated to you. To even beam it on that court, it was not for you. The letter was meant for JP. In fact, it is referring to JP. The JP was supposed to answer. You were supposed to give your answers to the JP, and the JP was supposed to answer that person. Simple as that.
And then
now, where have you heard where someone writes to your manager?
Reads it to the public.
Where someone writes to your manager, you say, as a concerned citizen who pays tax, by the way, that is being charged as you are taking that 45 minutes and extra, you are adding another day. How many 15 minutes have you taken that are adding up to a day or so, or even more than that, because this thing has been happening long ago? How many? And we have to pay for that, right? Yes. Because we pay legal aid, we're paying for that. It's our taxpayers' man. Him, it's our taxpayers' man. He's pretending as if he's doing this case pro bono or something like that. We are paying him.
He's doing them a favor.
We are not doing him a favor. We are paying him. He's there as a worker. And the worker is not supposed to respond to the public that is paying him. We are saying, JP, because from my understanding, the judge was not supposed to entertain things that are coming from outside. All of a sudden, that court has made into a fight, a battle between people who are concerned about what is happening in court and the judge. The JP himself was not professional in doing that. The JP was supposed to send a message and say, this is the message that I'm getting from the people, and this is concerning Can you address 1, 2, 3? Give me the answers so that I can furnish these people with their answers. Simple as that.
And it's a level of intimidation. It's like, how dare you complain? How dare you?
Now all of a sudden,
you don't have a right to
now
complain.
all of a sudden it's the judge now who's answering us. Him or not?
It's intimidation to me. I felt scared.
The tail is wagging the
person.
dog these days.
Yes, I felt scared for the person that wrote that letter. It felt like they were being attention brought on them, and they had no right to complain. They had no right to say anything.
The tail is wagging the dog these days.
That's the treatment we are getting as the citizens of this country.
As for the defense, if any one of them did dare to answer to that, it will be a huge mistake, an embarrassment of note, because a person who took this thing pro bono is in jail.
Yes.
That's a person who had a right to answer to such.
Yes.
If we are getting a legal aid, man, shut up. Sit down. Simple as that. If we are getting illegal aid money, shut up.
At some point, he was saying that if it was another judge, they would have asked for a chauffeur, a driver, and a state car.
And we're paying them, and even when they've retired.
So now he drives himself.
Don't we pay them? Do we stop paying them?
No.
What is wrong with him?
He drives himself. That shows that he's serious about his job and
look, we don't care about that. We're talking about this case right now. We don't care about how you were going to work, even if there was disease COVID and whatnot. We don't care about that. You took this job and you said that's what you are going to do, and you are doing the right thing. So we are not going to give you flowers now just because you are doing the right thing. The problem is that issue of once you are in the public space, you think that we owe you an apology just because you are doing something. We do that every day to private companies. And the only thing we get is the salary that we bargain for. Simple as that. There is nothing wrong with what he was doing. It's correct. So now, just because other people are doing something that is wrong, now you want to feel special because you are doing what is correct. You did what you applied for. We were tired of these people. We are paying tax to these people, to government. Government pays accordingly to everyone. And if they are going to think that you are going to have another commission here,
commission of inquiry that costs more millions.
There is nothing wrong. In fact, that person was not angry enough.
No, that's why I'm like, this letter is so kind.
So now we're going to
sincere.
make excuses. Make excuses.
Hey, inhlamba ebezothukwa nalaphaya, if it was written by somebody else, it would not have been so polite. It would have definitely not been like that.
The fact that he's got guts to answer, that he feels superior. He feels like, I'm this demigod who's sitting here in this court. Even the people that are outside the public is not exonerated from what I can do.
Dance to my tune.
We are not going to do that, Mdala. No, we respect you as a father, and it ends there. The rest should be that you are doing your job, and you shouldn't be looking at us after doing the correct thing. And you look at us, are you guys seeing this? No. We will tell you when you do the wrong because you are paying. That's simple as that.
It's my first time seeing a judge responding to public spectacles and things that are happening outside of that courtroom. Now I thought he had enough on his plate, right, dealing with those hearsay evidence there that Gininda is busy.
He always tells us about JP. It's their contract. They agreed to work together. One reports to the other. Simple as that. One holds the other one accountable. Tina, on the other side, if we see that we are slacking as a public, and this is a democratic country, we are going to raise it. However, we're going to raise it. We don't care whether you go to that platform that is supposed to be seeking justice for Senzo and you answer us and waste more time trying to answer us, moving the letter around to the journalist.
It's not supposed to be entertaining side shows, honestly speaking.
Unless this letter was not written by someone who's from the public. It was just written for the show.
No. He needs to do better with that department. You cannot be out here trying to gag.
Imagine you write a letter that is supposed to be private. You write a letter that's supposed to be private. It's not directed to the judge.
I mean, they would have put it on social media if they wanted it to be a public document.
Exactly.
So why are you putting that person on blast?
And then now, all of a sudden, Mnisi knows about that person if he wrote his name or if it's a cell phone number.
He does know the details, everything. They gave him a copy. They gave a whole journalist a letter that's supposed to be between that person and the JP. They gave it to Linda Mnisi, a journalist.
Mediocre starts right there.
Maybe their cell phone numbers, their email addresses there, so they can be, their information now is just... It's just pepening out there.
We cannot sugarcoat these things. You know,
and this is the gaslighting that happens in this country when you try and complain and you try and make things right. You will find these kind of tactics being made.
Balo is smiling there.
You are being exposed. Now everybody who wants to hunt you down can hunt you down because when you complained, you're not supposed to complain. You're supposed to shut up.
Who are you to complain? Who are you? Why are you complaining? I mean, honestly speaking, it was uncalled for what happened in that court. It was irritating.
It was unprofessional.
It was unprofessional. It was, I don't know what it was supposed to achieve, to scare us so that we don't send complaint.
That was a gag right there. That you public opinion, you people of public who like to talk too much about this case on every social media platform, even not on social media platforms. Some people are having these conversations in their intimate spaces, in dinner tables, at workplaces. They're talking about this case. Now you have no right to say anything about this case.
No, he was out of order. Urata was out of order. For a person who's that old to actually do that, aye, man.
I'm tired. He irks me. Imagine we are irked every day because we have to talk about.
They are answering. They are throwing everything they can throw.
Ooh, lawyer, I don't even know what he's representing. He's supposed to be a public prosecutor, but right now he's looking like something I don't understand. I can't make sense.
But let's continue because I don't want to be here. It's surprisingly, you would never find such in any of these mainstream media.
The judge was upset that the person is implying that they do not work. He said they don't have any human rights. He made an example of Mr. Mgomezulu, like Mr. Mgomezulu was here in court sick, and he said he is sick, he must push on. It's his
Where
business.
Is that letter referring to that?
There's nowhere where the person is saying.
Where is it even trying to insinuate to that direction?
They shouldn't take leave.
Nothing of that.
There's no way where they implied that. And he said that he found it rather odd because Mr. Mgomezulu did not ask for the proceedings to stop. This is me. I found it very odd. Mr. Mgomezulu didn't ask for the proceedings to stop. Maybe initially it happened that the proceedings stopped because of whatever event that happened, and later on he came with a plan. But this letter, the thing is, if we even address to that direction, then you are addressing what they are saying, which is wrong. This person never said that these people should not work. He said, can you imagine if Mgomezulu had asked perhaps for the proceedings to even stop? All the blame would be on him right now. But thank goodness he said, I will watch on YouTube and I will see what I can do with what I have. While Jonas, on the other hand, had comments to say that the guy must be sent to Vescopis. Can you imagine? This is a mental institution. Can you imagine? For people that are not mentally well. Now, who died and made Jonas a lawyer or even a judge for that matter? Yes, we missed him. But who died and made him a lawyer? Oba umdala kwayena uyaphapha. Zithini ngani zakho mazikuzo uwhisperisha izinto nje behind the scene. Usho kumbaba womuzi or umama womuzi who wrote this thing. And rightfully so.
This person can literally correct evidence and say, this is the evidence I'm talking about. Who's crazy between who?
Yeah.
Between you and that person, who's crazy? Yeah?
This complaint was blown way out of proportion. It was blown
this
out of
thing
proportion.
Of feeling like we are part of the states like just because you are an interpreter. No, go get your LLB, then come back and be part of NPA once and for all.
So if they are so irritated about complaints just about time, then what about other complaints that are much more serious than you taking adjournments that are long? So Baloyi said that the reason they adjourn at 3:30 is due to security reasons.
And who said they shouldn't adjourn at 3:30?
Nobody said that. The judge asked that the letter be given to Lindamnisi, who represents the press. He said his name will not be publicized. Now Lindamnisi has the name of that person. And a whole public prosecutor said to us that the proper justice cannot be measured in terms of time. It depends on what is convenient for parties. That is how justice is dispensed and not according to that letter. Baloyi said that some people think that these proceedings are for entertainment and to keep them busy and forgetting that we here see that justice is done and we can't measure that in terms of time. I dare him to say this to Senzo's mother, Senzo's family.
Who's doing KPIs for Baloyi?
I dare him to go to the Meyiwa family and tell them this nonsense.
Measurement of whether you are doing the correct job at the right time and you are finishing, that is supposed to be done by someone who's in charge of the NPA, whole lawyers and all that. Your opinion is immaterial at this point in time because we haven't seen your KPIs suggesting such.
No.
You were supposed to bring your KPIs and say, yeah, here's my KPIs. This person scored me this much. That means I'm doing my job. Your eyes can be deceived. I guess in particular with this case, your eyes can be deceived, Baloyi. One of you or some of you were guiding this case that is based on hearsay.
Oh my goodness, you even find out that he was there while the confessions were being written advising Bokininda. Oh. Well, he handed in the affidavit of Brigadier Gininda and revisited the court record from the 22nd of January 2024. Ramosipili remarked that Mr. Brigadier Gininda was mentioning Mr. Absolam Zungu for the first time in evidence in chief, and he said that he hopes that he's not misquoting Mr. Ramosipili, but on the 29th of November 2023, Baloyi said that he was correcting the record. He read pieces of records from different pages. But let's go through them. The following, the first one, Baloyi said that the following was said during cross-examination by Mr. Mgomezulu. It said, now I understand the logic of your answer. The question still stands. When he was arrested on the 30th on the J50 before he was approached by Sergeant Mogola, Sadike and Buthelezi, the state had no evidence against him until such time that accused number 1 made a confession. Then Brigadier Gininda answered, I disagree, my lord. It is what I am saying. For one to focus on a specific individual, there must be a basis in the form of a statement or intelligence or a source saying this person committed this crime. So you cannot just go and question a person when there's no basis for that person being implicated. Then he went on to another page where Mgomezulu said, yes, those are the links operating to what you are saying. But what I'm saying is that the evidence at the time before his arrest depended on the information of the informer. Is that so? Then Brigadier Gininda answered, no, that is not what I'm saying. I'm saying, my lord, when you approach someone, you have to have a base, whether it is information from the source or a statement making certain allegations. All that I'm saying is that there was a reason for us to focus on Mr. Sibia. So I'm not saying that it is a source, because I'm now getting the impression as if there is a source. There is a statement in the docket which we disclose to the defense of Mr. Absalom Zungu, and it is clearly implicating accused number 1 and 2 in this matter, and that is what led to us to focus on accused 1 and 2. Isn't Mr. Absalom Zungu regarded as a source or an informer? Why does it become different now?
Guys, just like the video.
As if like a statement does not mean as you got the information from a source. Then he went to another page where Gilinda said,
Amelie,
yes.
Just like the video, guys, and thank you to. I'm trying to look for the name of a person who gifted us with some money. Thank you very much for your gift. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.
I just that
We'll
at the
find
time when
name.
it came, we were so deep in it.
Yeah, we'll find the name hopefully when we look. So Ramasipili said that he was satisfied and that Brigadier Gilinda even shared the same sentiments on Friday after he was read all of these snippets of the record. To me, I don't know what was happening. I don't know what was going on because you are rehashing stuff that has been said before. I don't know what he was trying to say or prove. Angas. So Ramasipili turned to the confessions of accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi. He started with the one taken by Kenna Rapadu, obtained on the 19th of June 2020 at Moroka Police Station. Ramasipili said that it starts by saying, during mid-October 2014, I received a call from a friend, Mtogozi Seni, who was with Mapisa. In your testimony, you said that when you spoke to accused number 2 at Carltonville without any prompting, he knows the date of the 26th of October. Even Sergeant Mohani testified the same way to say that I was surprised that accused number 2 knew of this date of the 26th of October 2014. In this statement, it says that he was unsure of the date because if he knew the date, he was going to say on the 26th of October, I received a call from a friend, Mtogozi Seni, who was with Mapisa. Well, Gilinda said that they got to the 26th of October.
Can you believe they were building a case on the basis that you forgot the case in 2018? Was it 2018? No. When was it that these people were asked? They were brought in 2020. Yes. So in 2020, you are supposed to remember everything correct, even where you threw a certain jacket that you had, if you had one. That's how crazy this case is. So on the basis that you could say 27 instead of 26, then from there, it is wrong.
You are arrested.
They are arrested.
You have no alibi. Even though you can't remember.
You forgot that you were off because damn, it's 2020. From 2014 to 2020, it's at least 6 years. You forgot that you were off. Who remembers their off days in 2014? Exactly. No one or less people, unless there's something big that happened at that time that you can remind you. So from there, then you are a suspect, the alibi is not picking up. It's wrong. Even though eventually it is corrected, it is not put in that context. It is put as if you were still lying. As
if you were still lying. Because I even heard him later on while he was testifying. He didn't want to acknowledge Ntanzi's former manager's testimony when he said actually we didn't work on Sundays. He was not due for work on Sundays and he had applied for leave. He's not acknowledging
in advance,
the leave.
By the way.
He's not acknowledging the leave. He's saying
it's not something that happened imminently. We are applying for a leave. Let's go.
He even took it to the extent to say that he did not work. He did not work. He didn't have a job. That's how far he took it. Wow, the delulu of this man. You know, Mr. Anonymous, when you say that now you believe that those confessions were not written by the accused.
No, I believe them. I honestly believe
that. The attitude that he's giving in that courtroom, you cannot say no to that man.
A small thing that is wrong.
That
a small thing you cannot admit. Here I made a mistake. I made a blunder. I thought it was accused number 3 who was linked to Kelly. No, it was not accused number 3. It was Fisoguhle. Nah, who's questionable.
So Gininda answered Ramasipili by saying that they got to the 26th of October after he put it to him information that he had reason to believe that he was involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. So there was a specifics that was put to him, the name of Senzo Meyiwa, but he didn't give him a date. His response then surprised him because he gave him the date and he said, no, I was not involved because on this date I was at work. So there was context. To think that if there were body cams, none of this would be even an argument in the court.
No. Because if there were body cams, I can safely tell you, 99% these people who are there
would not
as
be
accused number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 would not be there. Some would be serving their sentence with regards to the other crimes that they were sentenced for. Others would be working on the mines. We don't know. But they wouldn't be there, in my opinion.
Well, the judge asked for his understanding. But when he starts doing this, be very wary. Listen, pay attention. He's saying that this imputation about the date, it comes from whom? He said he was seeking clarity, on which statement was being dealt with. Was it that of accused number 2 or what? And then Ramasipili said that his instruction was that accused number 2 will come and tell the court that the context of him talking about the 26th of October 2014 is that when you approached him, Brigadier Gininda, you asked him where he was on the 26th of October 2014. Gininda said that is correct. If the question was put like that, he had no reason to change it because the essence of what became of that discussion is that he said he was at work and he followed the alibi and he didn't put a date to him. He only put an allegation and he responded with the date. The judge asked for context. He said he didn't understand the context of Gininda putting it because the statement says mid-October. He asked him, who was the magistrate or Kenner who took the statement, and Gininda said it was Kenner Rapadu. Then the judge turned to Ramasipili and said that it was different if it was written by the brigadier himself. So accused number 2 will deny, Ramasipili said, he had a friend, Mthokoziseni. And we know
because there's no such. It was, in my opinion, a mistake that happened when the pot was still there on the fire, that the name was separated from the surname.
Yes.
It was a mistake.
But he doesn't want to acknowledge them.
Because there is no such statement from Mthokoziseni. There is no ID from Mthokoziseni. There's nothing. That's what he said, right?
Yes.
Couldn't find this Mthokoziseni.
Yes.
Because he was never there. You can't find what is not there.
And now they gave him a way of dodging, because from now on he'll be dodging, saying that he's not the one who wrote the statement. Kenner Rapadu is the one who... He's not the one who wrote the statement. Kenner Rapadu is the one who... The judge told Ramasipili that no, it's different because it was not written by the brigadier himself, It was written by Kenner Rapadu. So the accountability from Mthokoziseni with Mapisa, it's totally extracted from Brigadier Gininda's interpretation of the confusion that he's brought to this case.
Such mistakes that shows that whoever was giving this information did not know these people. Such mistakes that he would even separate the name and the surname and come after that and say they are still different people.
They want to claim that they lied on the confessions. They want to claim that the accused lied when they were giving them the
there is Mthokoziseni Mapisa. In fact, that they did not know. So who wrote that statement? How could think about it? Should Bundanzi under pressure that they were feeling, they were able to think, let me separate the name of Mthokoziseni and the surname and put it aside, make it 2 people. Mthokoziseni Mapisa. Mapisa is someone else. Mthokoziseni is someone else.
And you have to consider
Only
also,
a person who was cooking this information can do that. I'm not saying someone cooked the information, but I'm saying only a person who cooked the information and made a blunder. A blunder happens if you do not know people correctly. It happens.
Ramosepele said accused number 2 will deny he had a friend called Mtogoziseni. And we now know from these proceedings that the person that is known as Mtogoziseni is Mapisa. Because in the statement, it says I was called by Mtogoziseni who was with Mapisa. Then Gininda said this is in the statement confession taken by Kena Rapadu. And that was the interaction. The brigadier is using the judge's query to navigate the question.
You want to know the crazy thing? You want to know the crazy thing, how crazy this case is? Let me show you. They are saying, and I'm sorry to jump the gun, Ntogoziseni Mapisa was already given by the late Meyiwa's father, same Meyiwa, as the suspect, and they was being investigated. Wouldn't that be even more sweeter if they could retrieve at the time, because that was now near 2014, the phone calls and everything? Why is section 205 of this so-called guy that was also investigated not part of this evidence?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
If the late Sam Meyiwa, may his soul rest in peace, did mention this person. And guess what? The statement that confirms that, when was it made? Like all other statement that changes, like everything that changes, 2020. The man is not here to speak for himself. Not even his wife, they could be trusted if he was to come and debunk this. We are playing with the death. In my opinion, it just doesn't make sense. I'm trying to find a common ground here. I cannot find it. I cannot find it.
It's not there. Doesn't exist.
I mean, people look. I think this is a record-breaking case in terms of people that were supposed to come and testify, who deposited their statements that have passed away. It's a record-breaking case, in my opinion. Give me something that is closer to this. Be it nature, or I don't know, but this is a record-breaking case, in my opinion.
There's too many
where
people.
We are using statements that were made by either in front of Kininde by those people, and they've either passed away or they cannot be found. Or some of them can be found, but the state decided not to call them. It's okay. We're building our case.
Like Boma Piriso.
Like Bolongwe. Like Bokeli. They are there. They're in public opinion, public platform. Some of them, they're even saying, yeah, we're ready. We need our time.
I'm waiting for my day.
I'm waiting for my day in court. But wait, the defense now must call them to prove that they are not guilty.
How is that going to work exactly?
Prove yourself using the people that we have left, that we should have called, that you are not guilty. Prove to us that you are not guilty.
How is that going to work exactly?
You say you are saving justice. Is that justice? Is that how justice works? Even if something, in my poor understanding, even if something is gonna throw your case away, but if it has a bit of truth, you bring it in.
Yes.
It's not about winning. It's about finding the truth.
Yes.
So that there can be peace.
Yes.
In society.
Yes.
But no, we won't call it. We're strategic. The state does not have a right. Perhaps that should be added. The state does not have a right to be strategic. They can stop this case and start another one on the same basis. They can do anything they want. They do not have a right to be strategic as if there is money that they are getting from a certain custom. It's us. our money.
Today, the goalpost was being shifted. I couldn't believe the insinuation that was being created, that the onus is on the defense to prove their
In a
case.
sense, that's what they said.
I couldn't believe my eyes.
But the law is saying otherwise, their law saying otherwise. But it's okay, fine, we will give you these people. It's a strategy. If they turn on you, still your client is going down. We close this case. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud. Why would you stop bringing Kelly? He was part of the people who were in the house. In fact, the story is that at some point, Senzo was protecting Kelly. There are many theories.
Yeah,
Longwe left, Longwe ran out. There are many theories. But because you want to create that facade that at some point, these intruders got in the house and they ran away, you are not going to bring Longwe, who is on record saying that I was the first one to run out. Because you are going to have to answer that question with, where did you disappear, Longwe, so that the intruders be the ones that the outsiders would see first. Where did you disappear? It's not a mistake. And then you say you are proving, you are finding justice. Which justice are you finding?
I don't know. I'm just so exhausted with this. I'm just feeling like, wow, I can't believe.
Considering that there's 375 that you can still follow. Well, unfortunately, 375 is saying things that are not welcomed on the other side. So another MPA member will come and assist, facilitate that process. If it requires you to go on the other side of the badge, it's fine. But in all honesty, that's what the state is supposed to be doing all the time, finding the truth.
I know, not.
We made a blunder. We accepted a case that was not well researched, was not well investigated. It's fine. Let us close it in the right way. No one needs to get harmed.
These ones are going down with it. They've made up their mind that they're not turning back. They are not going to admit.
Well, Emily, no one made their minds. No one made their minds, allegedly. No one made their minds.
Allegedly, but we were corner, in my opinion.
Yes, in your
They're
opinion.
saying, I don't have evidence to say this Mthokoziseni does or doesn't exist because no ID number or phone number were given. So one thing I also noticed today is that the judge started with that mouth gesture thingy that he does. I don't know. It's been a while since I last saw it, but today I saw it. I saw it today, and I'm like, it's back. Ramasipila advised him, Ukininda, not anticipate questions. He asked him to just finish with his answer and wait for the question to be asked, because if you answer in that manner, he said his intention is to finish cross-examination on that day, and he said they won't be able to finish if he keeps giving all these long answers. Well, then Ramasipili asked him, did you follow up on that evidence? Kininda said he did, and there's no ID number or a surname. Mthokoziseni was the one he could not associate with anyone as being a friend. And Ramasipili said to him, you testified that the name Mapisa, who's accused number 4, came up when the first investigators worked on this case. Is there a statement regarding that? And Kininda said, yes, from Police Officer Lieutenant Colonel Mtetwa. It's in the docket. He said he approached him because when he saw the name, it was just on the investigation diary, but it was clear what it contained. So this Mtetwa doesn't say anything. He says it in 2020 in a statement. Such crucial information.
Yeah.
And he's saying that this is coming from an investigation diary. Which Mtetwa are they talking about? Is it the same Colonel Mtetwa who testified or a different one?
It's a woman, I think.
It's a female, this one.
Oh, it's a female.
So the judge asked if the statement was discovered to the defense. Kininda said yes, it was discovered in the docket. She came, collected it before she even came to testify. She said he approached the initial investigator and she exposed an affidavit to that effect. So it's a she. Agent Nkululeko Mthethwa. And it was commissioned on 2020, November the 2nd. I was anticipating that maybe it was from 2014, 2015.
No,
2020.
2020.
So Ramasipili said that accused number 2 also said that he didn't know Mapisa, accused number 4, until the first appearance in court on the 27th of October 2020. And Gininda said that's not correct, because if you look at the statement of Sfiso Zungu, the very same one that the state is failing to call to come and testify, they want the defense to call him, in my opinion. And they knew each other, is what Gininda is saying, that Ntanzi and Sfiso Zungu knew each other. And Makosonke's statement, the name appears. And if you look at Ndwandwe's statement too, he appears. They do indicate that he knew accused 4 and all the other accused. And the judge said, yeah, fine, but for the purposes of this court, were all those statements discovered? All of them. And Gininda said, yes. This one of Sfiso Zungu is the one that,
and that's what the court is interested on.
That's the one that he says Mr. Ramasepili led him to. You know, he kept rubbing it in, the arrogance that I could hear as I was listening to this man testify. He kept rubbing it into Ramasipili that he's the one who solicited evidence from him. Akiramanje, he heard it as it was being argued. He heard it as it's being argued in the court, and now he was rubbing it in, rubbing salt in the wound of Ramasipili, making him feel bad for not being able to stop him when he tampers into hearsay evidence. There's a part of me that wished he could just stop him sometimes. But Ramasipili is not that kind of cross-examiner. And they kind of knew this, and they you know, made it work, in my opinion. That's solely my opinion. And you could see him rubbing it in with Ramasipili that, you know what, you solicited this statement from me of Sfiso Zungu. Then he said that Ndwandwe and Jack Buthelezi, who testified, they were discovered. So Ramasipili approached Ntanzi at this moment to ask him for more instructions. And when he came back, he asked Brigadier Gininda, you mentioned names of people and statements. Have they testified? And Gininda said, I know Jack Buthelezi testified, but I confined myself to these people because we dealt with those statements. He again repeated that the statements were solicited by Ramasipili, rubbing it further in, trying to bruise his ego, you know what I'm saying. Ramasipili then said Jack Buthelezi testified about a narrow issue in that he met accused number 2 after he appeared at the Kabani Magistrate Court, and he gave accused number 2 money to buy toiletries, because at the time accused number 2 had not received any family visits so they can bring him toiletries. He did not testify about accused number 2 knowing accused number 4, Mr. Mapisa. This is the testimony of Jack Buthelezi, who came and testified, and towards the end he kind of perhaps did not go according to how the state had maybe wanted him to testify, because at the time he just told what at the time he was feeling, and then the judge interpreted it to say that he was being threatened. I don't know, but that's how it was. It was very awkward. But Jack
Buthelezi is still alive.
There were rumors on Twitter, on social media, that he is no more, but I followed up and I couldn't find much. So guys, if you have any information regarding Jack Buthelezi,
those are people that you appeal to be recalled.
Whether he's still alive or
because
not.
Because I'm worried if there was such a statement from Jack Buthelezi, then the defense made a blunder. By just confining themselves into asking about Ntanzi.
That day when he
if Jack Buthelezi said your client at some point did 1, 2, 3, why do you not go to that direction? Well, it's a trial within a trial, but wasn't that fit? Because we were talking about their statements being true, so you could have asked that question.
No, Jack Buthelezi did not testify in the trial within a trial. It was just before the trial within a trial when he was called as a witness.
No, wasn't it a trial within a trial? Because Ntanzi was talking about the journey of how he went, and
Actually, it was relayed by Mkomezulu prior. Not even Mkomezulu, I think it was Ramsipilo Mkomezulu prior to the trial within a trial. There was a time where he narrated the story before Danzi came and testified it himself on the stand in the trial within a trial.
Okay, yeah, but if that was
Because
the case,
it was around the time Babula and Zwani also came to testify.
it's
Don't you remember?
really, yeah, it's really worrying that was overlooked. If someone came and someone who was agreeing with you at the time, and you don't ask him that question, it was Ramsipiri who cracked him, right?
Yes.
So you should have asked that question. The floor was yours. You let him go.
But what if they didn't have, I don't know if they had this information that Mapisa.
That's what this guy is saying. He said they had it.
Or it's just that the names were redacted. It's a lot. Balwe interjected and said that he doesn't think that this is entirely correct. What they know is that he made a Voltaire Fake after testifying. It's a matter that will probably
a turnaround
for argument. Yes, a turnaround. The judge said, yeah.
Double D.
Then Ramusipili said accused 2 also said he only met accused 3, 4, and 5 for the first time when they appeared in the court for the first time on the 27th of October 2020. And Ginida said that's not correct. The statement of Gwabeni places all the accused at the hostel.
Where is Gwabeni?
And it's corroborated by Constable Zungu, who also says the same thing. The very same Fiso Zungu that they're failing to get to come and testify. You know, it's very strange.
There's something very wrong.
Where is the man? Because he's an important central
There is something very wrong about this law that says if you made the statement, as an owner of the statement, you made the statement and I was there and I put my signature there and I'm an investigator, then it can go to court without you. In a sense, that's what that thing is saying. That thing is wrong and it's nonsensical.
That doesn't make sense. I'm
because
not a lawyer.
At this point, there is a lack of trust between these people. Where there is a lack of trust, who is better suited to come and clarify that? Ginin decides we don't trust Ginin. Why doesn't the author come and clarify that situation?
Mina bendiqala ukuyiva.
Nami ngiyaqala ukuyizwa. Angiyazi futhi angisho ukuthi vele I'm not a law person.
Not a lawyer,
I'm a lay person when it comes to these things. But I'm just looking at it and I'm like, so someone can literally write a statement on my behalf as an investigating officer and say it is their signature. They are the ones who actually signed, what is it called?
Commissioned
the statement, and then forge my signature if they have to, and then that becomes my mouthpiece. I'm the one who said it. That's a mess, man. Imagine. It's even worse. If someone can do that, then what the so-called lawyer could have done. If someone can come and represent you by force, that means someone can even come and represent you, whether you like it or not. You know?
It's the mere fact that someone can speak.
Let me tell you, I'm going to say this.
While you are not there at court, just because they commissioned your statement. Now that is scary.
It's scary. Very scary. You know, I'm going to say this. These laws, if you look at them, they were made during the times where people who were in charge as police, they couldn't be seen as liars. They were simple mini demigods that can never lie. And today we are applying the very same laws that were taken from the so-called mini-gods of the time.
And look at how they were twisting and abusing them to such an extent that what they did to us as a nation, as people of color.
Now it has changed from the color.
They were abusing.
Now it has changed from the color to what is your level of in terms of economy. where do you stand? Where do you stand? If you are poor, then you become that.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
And it's even more painful when a person of your skin color is doing it to you. It even hurts worse. Because what is this?
Mate is saying that they were not admitted. What do you mean they were not admitted, mate? Ginindi was referencing them as people that
they were disclosed to the defense.
Yes, disclosed mean they were taken up. That's it. They were there. So if they were there, he's using it to solidify his case.
Yes.
To say so and so said 1, 2, 3, so and so said 1, 2, 3. He's using them. And the only thing that the judge does is to ask were they ever availed to disclose to the defense. Yes, simple as that. Who commissioned them? I commissioned them. Well, let's continue.
That's all he cares about.
You think it was a mistake that Ginindi was talking this much, saying, touching even. We said it.
Do you still believe that was a coincidence for him to be blabbing like that, pulling? We even got attacked.
We said it. We got attacked when we said it.
That was not a mistake.
It was not a mistake. It was opening all of them. It's like you have all sealed bottles around you. You open a couple of them. And then you get a chance, you open all of them at once.
And he did exactly
that. It was just champagning them. Ramsey will ask a question, where is the direction to KZN? He would say, you move 4. From Bloemfontein to...
You know accused number 4. This is how accused number 4 was implicated to begin with in this
Subsequently
case.
To that.
You did not ask. I did not. That is where Ramasipili was, in my opinion, frustrating me, because he could have easily said, you know what, I didn't ask you about that. That's not what I asked you. Answer the question, Mr. Ginindi, and keep it at that. I don't need all this extra information right now. I don't want it. You can give it to the court. It's a different story when the court asks for it. But it's a totally different story when Ramasipili just
Because
chilled.
You know what they say? You solicited.
Yes. That's what they're accusing him of.
Even though we know that you didn't ask that question, but you solicited. And that's what the record is remembering. You soliciting information because you asked me a simple question. Mr. Anonymous, I'm in Joburg. From Joburg.
Let the judge be the one who solicitates. When I stop the witness.
From Joburg, where do you go so that you can reach KZN? Oh, simple. Simple. A normal explanation would be right by N3. Just connect N3. If you are going to Durban, never leave N3. If you are going to Ulundi, your Nongom, leave it for R23. Right? Simple as that. At some point, you will have to leave it at some point for R23. But you ask someone, hey, where is the direction? You say, no, you see in Joburg now. Simple. You have to start as if you are going to Bloemfontein, and you touch there by Bloemfontein. You move there, right there. You move all the way to Free State. And the Free State, you move by N3. You try to connect N3. Leave it at some point. You see, I've touched all the provinces. Almost all of them.
That
Simple
is what
as
he
that.
was doing.
And that's what we were complaining about.
And
then you guys said, no.
That was not a mistake. That was not
a mistake.
That was not something that happened just.
And then now, Baloyi is simple saying, my learned colleagues solicited that information. They made that bet. They must lie on it.
That's exactly what he said.
No, I didn't ask that question.
It's too late.
I think, my lord, the record speaks for itself. It's done.
It's too late.
You can try to speak. It's like you're speaking underwater there. There's nothing you're saying.
So those who were cussing at me and cussing at us, do you see the picture? Do you see it?
They open it, and the last coffin on the nail, depending on how they are going to bring their witnesses, that's where the catch is also. Those who were left, they were left for a purpose. If you know you cannot crack them, leave them.
Leave them alone.
if you know you cannot crack them, you are going to
Leave them alone.
moving nice and smoothly.
If you're not
leave
gonna
them
be
away.
tearing them apart, leave them alone. Leave them alone.
Because it's a catch. You're going to catch it hot.
It's another trap.
It's throwing you with the hot stuff.
So
knowing exactly you're not going to be
my
to catch
2
it.
cents would be focus on your clients, proving your clients,
Exactly.
taking them out of the scene.
Exactly.
Focus on such.
If you can do that,
Yeah.
well and good. Don't ever touch these ones that are left.
Don't do it.
It's you move. If you touch them, you are dead. If you don't touch them and you don't prove anything, you are still dead. So
focus on proving that your clients
listen to your clients. Where were you? Let's try to think. Let's try to get something that can give you an let us
alibi,
try to give you something
one.
that can give you an alibi.
Strong alibi.
Because you go fetch Kelly. One phone call. Hey, look, you remember what you wrote down
one
there.
look from a certain individual.
And then everything changes. So I know we said, hey, bring so and so, bring so and so. There are those that I would bring, but yay.
Konamanje, the way the state just left it open like this, to me, it's a no-go area right now.
These are the same
will
courts
have to
that
call them
arrested
themselves.
D4 in court.
Yes.
Can you imagine after testifying and then there's a police waiting for you to take you to jail?
Yes.
As a mastermind.
Imagine. So are you going to
and
testify?
During the break.
And as we have seen, they can make a case.
Hey, during the break, you get an SMS that
they can investigate
see that
you
police
for other
waiting
cases.
for you there.
And then you get arrested for other cases. And then as they keep you for a case that they currently want you for. Something like that. I'm sure you've seen what is happening. So if you are sitting there, you are testifying and you're going to be on the side of the defense, you're like, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going, what do you think is going to happen?
So, Carl.
And you are implicated.
Let's continue, man. People are calling.
So Makosonke also placed him around that period. In fact, Makosonke, accused number 2, confessed to him for being involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. It is alleged, to put it right, that he confessed to him. Khumalo stood to say that he was having a problem with the witness, referring to affidavits of witnesses whose statements had not been tested before this court. The judge asked if that is the criteria. Okay, it was the criteria not so long ago with every other witness prior to Brigadier Gininda, but somehow things have changed. Right now, it only applies to the defense. It doesn't apply to the state. So, judge said it is a criteria if a witness has made a statement and he has not testified to in this court. In terms of the law, the brigadier is not allowed by law to mention that, despite the fact that the statement has been discovered. If he has been discovered, it is clear that he can't refer to it, because the assumption in terms of the law is that the information you would not know because it is not discovered. But if the docket is discovered, it is assumed that you read the docket. Khumalo said that he had a problem with the witness containing what's in the affidavit and it had not been tested under cross-examination. The judge said, no, you can test it under your cross-examination.
Thank you. So I hope this answers Metu, because Metu is saying it has not been read on record. There are references that are made to that statement that are solidifying the state's case.
Yes.
That's what matters. That's what matters. I say there are many people who saw you there. Many. Name one, name two. Even Kwabin saw you there. You know? Is there an affidavit for that? There's a statement like, yes, there is, my lord. What do you think is going to happen? The judge is not reading those. You think he's going to put them aside and say, these ones were not admitted?
Never.
He's the one defending that position. He's the one saying it's up to you to call and debunk that.
Yes.
So what are you debunking if it's not admitted? What are you debunking? Well, according to law, maybe admission means 1, 2, 3, and 4. But in that court, Those people have been practicing law for years.
Yes, they know.
They know everything.
For instance, we have been told, Khumalo said, by the state that this is the last witness. Now he mentions other people. Well, the judge said you want a ruling on that aspect. The law allows it, like Kelly, for example. The judge said you are at liberty to contradict that by bringing evidence to show that Kelly was somewhere in Hollywood when they said she made a statement. Nisi said the point in contention here is that this witness is allowed to bring their backdoor hearsay evidence. And we all know what are the basis of hearsay evidence. The state must stand up and make an application to say that I'm aware that this is hearsay evidence, but I'm requesting that it be provisionally accepted pending the calling of the witness whose credibility that the witness rests. The judge said you are right, but this evidence is being elicited under cross-examination. That's the difference. He's being cross-examined and he answers. You can argue thereafter that what he was saying was hearsay evidence. So if they don't call them, does it remain hearsay evidence?
We don't know.
He said, but
all I know is that the fact that they are mentioning that you elicited that, that would mean that you have opened that. Simple as that. Now, whether you decide not to question on it, you are shooting yourself on it. You might as well just continue. You're screwed.
He said, but you can't tell a witness that you're not supposed to answer how you're answering because it is hearsay evidence. He said, but again, the rules are very clear. Hearsay evidence is inadmissible unless the state makes an application that it be provisionally accepted pending the witness. And the judge said that he differs. He said, this is hearsay evidence.
See how the judge defends. How the judge defends.
He does. He said it's not elicited under cross-examination, but under this unwarranted elucidation by this witness.
There you go.
He's just allowed to do whatever he wants. And the judge said you can't get away from the fact that this witness is under cross-examination. Mnisi said, but he keeps on explaining things that he has not been asked. The judge said you can argue that. That's fine. But like I said, Advocate Nisi is wrong as far as the law is concerned. If in cross-examination you elicit hearsay evidence, it is one of the exceptions where hearsay evidence can be accepted. Ramasipili said that he doesn't understand which hearsay he has elicited.
It's too late. we said it that day.
I'm sorry.
It's too late.
I'm sorry.
I can simply tell you for free, it is too late. The train is moving so fast, and you cannot kumbologo. You need to catch it.
We were haters.
Yeah, we were wrong. He was just laying the basis. The basis that he has laid.
Is statements from people who are not gonna come and testify.
He has, in a nutshell, elicited. In a simple English, brought it to life. What was dead? Whether you like it or not.
Well, he said he had elicited when he doesn't understand why he elicited when he put a proposition that his client will come and tell the court that he met accused 3, 4, and 5 for the first time in Boksburg Magistrate Court in October 2020, and the judge said he doesn't want to get into the merits of this case, but bear in mind that the defense which was placed in this court about the cell phone evidence, he says he doesn't want to get into that. Have you heard me?
In a sense, is telling you, I know when I make my judgment, it has been proven.
Ramasipili said that he had been cordial to the witness to say, ask the asketh. The judge said he had a right to cross-examine, and then a client is going to get into the box and dispute that evidence, and you can argue which version the court can accept, unless if he's lying, if he says the statement is discovered. Ramasipili said that they were given 12 statements of secret witnesses whose names were redacted. So as you read, you didn't know which statement belonged to who, and the judge did not believe him. The statements say, Judge Rata Mkhwatleng, the guy identified himself. This is the point where Mshololo asked for a 5-minute adjournment, and when they came back, Rabusipili indicated that he needed more time. And he said he's immune to social media. The case has moved tremendously than the previous trial, so they're not going to rush justice. Justice is happening. The wheels of justice are happening in respect of the accused persons. If it was the complaint, they'd bring it to court. Ramasipili said that they are not going to dance to social media. And the judge said that's not social media, referring to the letter that he was reading earlier on. And Ramasipili said that that is one person hiding behind an email and is one of them. The judge said Gininda took the statements and they have a right to call those witnesses who have made statements who are accusing.
So the man is not going to dance into social media. But he's dancing into Baloy's feet. Baloy is like, he's licking his hand.
I made our own bed. Did you see how happy Baloy was today?
Bring it on.
Did you see, guys, Baloy natabile jwang?
He's licking his hand.
He was at ease.
Bring it on.
My lord.
You are busy taking a person who sent an email who didn't even hide his name or their name.
I don't know what the strategy is from now on.
So, I'm going to say this. I'll give it as it is when it comes to Rata, in a sense that whatever that's going to follow now, I do not think that is much that Rata is going to bring. Ramasipili is going to bring in debunking in most of those things. That's a feeling I got in his cross-examination most of the time when he was asked, are you going to bring that person when it mattered at the time whether the statement has been read into record or not? He said, no, most of the cases, no, not this one. So, I don't know. Maybe Mngome Zulu is brave enough to bring certain people. I see Mnisi. I also see Mshololo bringing people. With Ulokuzana, Khumalo, I am not sure. Maybe one person. Maybe one person. But yeah. Who is it gonna bring? But let's continue.
Well, Balo, you said that there's another law on unproven. If he was taken in the presence of that statement, then that person can still vouch for the correctness of the statement.
Conveniently, most of them, Gininda.
Most of them are written by Gininda.
Not written by Gininda.
Not written,
they
are
commissioned by
Gininda. Commissioned by Gininda. Most of them are commissioned. They were taken in his presence. He was there. He was the commissioner of those statements. So most of them are not going to come and testify for the state.
Can I make one prediction?
Make it.
I'm going to say this. Mark my word. I don't think Mshololo is going to do well with Gininda.
Why? Yana, she's pissed. I would like for her to come down. I saw.
No, she looks pissed. Yes, I don't for that reason actually.
And
I don't think she's gonna do.
Thrives
in emotions.
Yeah.
If yeah, I don't think Mshololo is gonna survive Gininda. He's gonna play with emotions a lot, and obviously we know
and
in that court Mshololo is the black sheep.
Yes.
So Gininda is gonna do that with the blessings, maybe. That's my prediction.
Pay attention.
Pay attention what is going to happen. You see what is happening in Nis. Nisi knows his way around. You see with Mshololo. Mshololo understands most of the things, but I can literally put them side by side by saying, I'm not comparing them in a bad way. Mnisi at some point was a prosecutor. He knows these laws. Playing around. So was Mshololo.
Yes, she was a prosecutor before.
If that was the case, then, but when it comes to bringing up or dealing with the objections, because that's how they start frustrating Mshololo. He needs most of the time to refer and go read and say, okay, this is the law that I was referring to. He knows the law, but you cannot just put it like that. And that is how they play in her feelings. It's if there was someone who's sitting next to Mshololo, like every time he feels that there's a fight or objection, according to 1, 2, 3, opens that thing fast for Mshololo so that he can refresh. Because once he gets into cross-examining, he doesn't switch quickly like Nisi, for example. Nisi is able to counter any objection most of the time. So is Mngomezulu.
Yes.
And those are the two lawyers that I've seen. I'm not saying Mshololo is I wish Mshololo can have a great day during that time, but I already see it now with Mnisi. But Mnisi is divorced to the feelings. Yeah. He's just wrangling them up. Yeah. He knows how to. In fact, Mnisi starts the fight.
Yes.
With everything, he starts the fight. He starts attacking, and by the time they are trying to prove, it's them now who are trying to prove. But with Mshololo, it's the other way around. They make Mshololo want to be the one trying to prove them. Yeah. And that is why normally Mshololo is like behind. The following day, I will give the answer on the following day or during the break. And that's a problem. They get in and the judge makes those gestures. And then Mshololo gets more pissed. So, I hope Mshololo is on her A game. That anger out. Relax. In fact, if you feel like attacking, have your points together. Yeah. And have all the laws that you need together and attack. Yeah. Early in the game. Don't wait. Build up.
Be a build up.
Because you see what Mnisi has done, has created the precedent that when I come back, I'm not playing, I'm not joking. I'm here for one thing. I want one, give me one. I want two, give me two. Simple as that. Mnisi is able to say, whoa, you know, that's how Mnisi is. And that is playing on what I've seen. He's got emotions, Ginin. As much as he likes using, in my opinion, other people's.
That whole speech
but he's got emotions. He got emotions when he feels belittled.
He was upset, advocate.
He's got emotions. Use that, Mshololo. Attack first. Then you'll have a smooth cross-examination. But once they attack first and they now you find Ginindi
there will be referencing comments that he will make to agitate and aggravate
like you find Ginindi, a student, referencing the law for you. I don't agree with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They don't do that to Mnisi.
No. You wouldn't dare.
They don't do that. I don't agree. And then you come with your law, counter law. You're countering what. So I hope that she has a best day. She just needs to relax. Breathe in, breathe out. Like you are going to present. And make sure that your strategy includes fighting from the beginning with the facts. Yeah. And then later on, you have a right to fall there and there. But once you start, what I've seen, once Mshololo starts wrong, it's difficult to come back from that. Yeah. It's like a team that you consider goal early. It becomes difficult to get that rhythm back.
It does.
And it is understandable. They have been really in that court. They've been sometimes I get angry on her behalf. You know, I'm sitting here, I want to throw my chair on that TV. I'm like, what the hell? How can you say that? You know, her English has been put into question.
The institution that she studied.
You know, and that is not
being attacked. attacked.
That is not fair. In all honesty, that is not fair. But it happens. So she must go there prepared. And much as people are anticipating her, I'm hoping that she really has this perfect day.
Yes.
That
I want her to have a good day, considering
on a good day, Mshololo can kill you. But if it starts wrong, with objection after objection after... It starts with Maloi. It's going to object. Then after that, Ginindi follows. And then after that, the judge follows.
And she shouldn't get tired of arguing through the objections, because what I realize, most of them don't have what Advocate Nisi and Advocate Ngomezulu have, where they challenge the objections.
Yeah, like I've seen Ram Sipile, every time there's an objection, he concede.
Don't do that. Why are you doing
He concede 90% of the objections that he got. I would say roughly 90%.
Do you know the law? You studied this thing, man. You must. If it's not valid, it's not valid. Pella, sometimes...
No, it's difficult, Pella. What you don't understand is that now you have to bring it back verbatim. If it says Ginindi is clever, what, that's what they are banking on.
Can't they have a laptop or something?
They do, but Mshololo has an assistant.
Yeah, pull those laws.
They just need to be in there quickly, to anticipate also and read the room. You know the line of questioning of Mshololo, because you guys work together with Mieki, yeah? So what dear, you almost can feel, man, if you read this thing. Here I'm gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
Prepare counter arguments. Right there and there.
Yes.
Your job should be, okay, let us counter argue. We are saying we are going to put this question. This question might have this problem and this problem. Let us prepare. So that so that when they stop you push back.
Yeah.
Right away.
That tenacity that Nisi and Ngomezulu have is very important to navigate such.
Because for Mshololo to do well, what I've noticed, she has to start well.
Yes.
If she doesn't start well, it becomes difficult because they play with her emotions.
They get to her emotions. And
but let's continue, Amy.
They make her upset. Then Ramasipili picked up on the version after the short adjournment. You indicated that one of the statements were from Angel Mtetwa, and Gininda said no. Angel Mtetwa's statement relates only to accused number 4. It only said accused number 4. So the judge backed up Brigadier Gininda by saying that he remembers. Okay, and Ramasipili said that he will go through 4 aspects on the markers of reliability. And Ramasipili said, isn't it true that this case attracted a great deal of media coverage? Gininda said, yes, there's still a great deal of interest. And Ramasipili asked, would you say when dealing with the media that there was any holdback of information that you didn't give to the media? And Gininda said, I'm not sure there is such an understanding between the media and the police. There is a spokesperson who deals with the media. The spokesperson is not part of the investigation team. Ramasipili then said to him, do you know if there was any holdback evidence regarding the killing and death of Senzo Meyiwa? And Gininda said the police do not disclose evidence in the media. They would update. Police would not articulate all the details. And Ramasipili said, what do you mean when you say corroboration? Is it not so that the matter happened in 2014 and was it in the public domain? Gininda said yes, and he refers to the evidence in the docket. So Ramasipili said the mentioning of Kelly Khumalo was also in the public domain. The deceased was shot at home of Kelly Khumalo, and Gininda said no. What is mentioned in the statement is that Kelly Khumalo was a trigger point, and that was not in the media. What was in the media was that the deceased was shot at the home of Kelly Khumalo. There were no reports about Kelly Khumalo being the trigger point. He said he didn't have a recollection of someone saying in the media platform that Miss Kelly Khumalo hired people to kill the deceased. It was for the first time when they got a hold of accused number 1 and 2. That is what he said up to the time that they got to accused number 2, that they were dealing with a robbery gone wrong. The assertion that indicates that this was a contractual killing started forming that picture when they got to accused number 1 and when it was supported by exhibit HH and JJ of accused number 2, meaning the confession statements of accused number 2. So Ramasipili asked him, he received the statement from Ken Rapadu, What do you do with it? And Gininda said he followed up. Ramasipili said accused number 2 will tell this court that when he was interviewed in the boardroom at Pretoria North, you placed information that you suspected that he's linked to the commission of this offense as the Senzo Meyiwa murder, but over and above, you were asking him about the names of the people he doesn't know. For example, you were asking him about Buthelezi, Mapisa, Nkani. He kept on saying he doesn't know who these people are, and you insisted that he knew them from the taxi industry. Speaking of taxi industry, since Advocate Mshololo is the one who likes career path, she needs to collect all these police officers that have testified and worked at
all
the
of them.
taxi industry.
They mostly come from.
And ask Uguti, do you know, have you worked with these police officers before? That is a very important question. Then Gininda said that's not true.
Yeah, in terms of that tax industry issue.
Yes.
Because he has worked there. And most of these people, you look up for them, they come from that direction.
And he said, I was not there when he was interviewed on the 17th of July by Sergeant Mohane, so that is not correct. He said, when I met him on the 18th of June, I did not know the names of accused 2, 3, and 4. And what I heard was the confession statement made by accused number 1, which mentioned different other people, the Buthelezis. Insofar as the statement that I heard from Mr. Absalom Zungu, it mentioned him and accused number 1. He said he will not go to the number 4 because in the docket itself, there were a lot of people that were interviewed and eliminated as part of the investigation. It was accused number 2 who brought 3, 4, and 5. Ramasipili asked him if he located the black hoodie that was spoken about. Gininda said no. Jonas, the senior interpreter of the court, went to ask for an interpreter for another court, so there was a pause there, and Ramasipili then said, did HH give any information that was not known to you or in the public domain? And Gininda said yes. For example, it mentions accused 3, 4, and 5. That was not known to us. The person who had dreadlocks, it is alleged to be accused 3. It further alleges that accused 3 is the person that fired the fatal shot to the deceased. The other thing we did not know was a use of a silver polo. We also did not know that there was money in a container taken from the house. Money from a container was taken from the house now. Ramasipili then said, Constable Zungu says when he approached you, he finished you with all the names of the people that were involved in this case. And Gininda said he did indicate when they met him on the 13th of November, it was to confirm that he convinced his father. He met his father on the 17th and took the statement. They were moving from the point that needed to be corroborated by the father. Ramasipili moved on to the confession statement that was taken by Magistrate Grunier on the 24th of June. Ramasipili said, what was the need for taking the second statement? And Gininda said, as I've indicated, that there were discussions between the accused, his lawyer, and the prosecutors. This is talking about Mjiako. The statements came from those discussions and moved on until they fell apart. So here, he was creating that insinuation that there was a deal perhaps that they had struck with accused number 2. Am I correct? Am I reading it right?
That's what he was insinuating.
Then Ramasipili said accused number 2 denied that he was one of the people that entered the house on the 26th of October 2014. And Gininda said HH and JJ confession say a different story. He is the deponent there. Ramasipili said he will deny that he's the second intruder that was dark, tall, and wearing a hoodie. And Gininda said again, Exhibit HH and JJ say otherwise. He will deny that he was part of the planning and execution of the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. And Gininda said again, Exhibit HH and JJ say different. Ramasipili said he will deny that he knows the perpetrators of this case. And Gininda said, not true, my lord. In the statements, he says he's among them, and other statements indicate so. Ramasipili said he will deny being at the hostel. And Gininda said the same applies. He placed himself there. Even the statement by Constable Zungu and others, Ramasipili said he will deny that he personally knows Miss Kelly Khumalo and he does not know who ordered the hit. Gininda said he does agree he does not know Miss Kelly Khumalo, but he knows that the order came from her. In fact, in the confessions, he mentions how much he received after the crime. It was 45,000 rands paid in 2 batches. Ramasipili then said he will state that he was employed from 2009 to 2016 at Sibanye, and Gininda said from 2009 to 2016 he was employed. However, from the date of this incident, he was not at work, and that relates to how his first alibi failed. And then Ramasipili said he will deny that he was a hitman in this matter or any other matter as he was employed at the time. And Gininda said the collected evidence and statements collected say otherwise. Ramasipili took instructions before wrapping up his cross-examination, and after that he came back. Gininda was given an opportunity to go over the docket for a question Ramasipili had prior. Ramasipili dealt with it in the next 10 minutes before he finally wrapped up his cross-examination, and he asked him, did you manage to see after JJ whether there were further investigations that were done emanating from the contents of the first confession? And Gininda said yes. So what was covered on JJ, that is not HH, is that then he read the confession statement. Mthokoziseni asked Carlos at the hostel, are you sure you really hit him? So this is not contained in the other exhibit. So to collaborate this, to confirm that this was indeed a contractual killing, to collaborate it in terms of the investigation by Simpiwe Tabelihle Buthelezi, who alleges that after the incident, both accused 3 and 4 confessed to him. Nisi objected to this, and he says, it can't be, my lord. I've indicated that this witness is allowed to waddle and say whatever he wants, and he knows that what he is doing is quite wrong. He now is talking about Simpiwe Buthelezi, and we have been told that he is the last witness to come and testify from the state, and the state is just seated there without calling the witness to order, unless if they are going to call that witness to come and testify. But this witness cannot be allowed to just drop names whenever he wants. That is totally unprocedural. In fact, I'm going to request that aspect of evidence that he just made, it should be redacted from the court record. Well, Baloyi stood and said, we object to what Advocate Nisi is saying, that the state is just sitting and not calling the witness to order. I don't know what type of law or procedure Advocate Nisi is referring to. This is cross-examination. There's no obligation on the state to say anything. Funny how I remember when the people who were closer to the scene on the 14th of October wanted to express what other people were saying, and it was, that's hearsay evidence. That's hearsay. He said we cannot be seen to be interfering with the answers that the witness is giving. And then Nisi said Mr. Baloyi is wrong for him to say that this witness will continue to talk about hearsay evidence on the guise that this witness is siphoned from the cross-examination. It is totally wrong. It's basically misleading this court. Mr. Baloyi knows hearsay evidence is inadmissible. There's no question that came from Ramasipili which necessitated him mentioning what he was mentioning now. And the judge now asked who Simpiwe Buthelezi. Gininda said he's one of the witnesses in the docket. He passed away before the proceedings started. He said he will have to look for his death certificate. So the judge asked if the statement was discovered, and Gininda said it was discovered right at the beginning before they started on the first appearance. So the judge asked, does the state want to lead evidence on a hearsay principle? And Baloyi said he thinks that whenever hearsay evidence was involved, they've laid the basis. He said they've indicated which witnesses they will be calling and will stand by that. We've not elicited any evidence regarding Simpiwe Buthelezi. All this information has been elicited by the defense. They went into the investigation. The results was that the investigating officer had to respond to their questions. Now they are laying the blame on the state. They've made their bed, their own bed. Let them, they must lie in it. So
with the green smile.
He was happy.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished. Well, Ramasipili explained his question to the judge, and I just felt like, Baba, Chaile, Baba. You can explain, but won't make a difference. Well, then Gininda said he's the one who took the statement. Yeah. The counsel went to take the instructions from their clients, and the judge said that he was going to fetch a case about hearsay evidence and read it for the defense counsel. So R versus Hepworth at this point is totally out of the window. We will not be hearing of it. We'll hear of it when the defense is making strong arguments.
Yeah, forget.
So after the long adjournment, Advocate Mnisi started by saying that he was requesting a statement that he asked Brigadier Gininda for last week, made by Mr. Steyn, where he says he was able to come across evidence that there was communication between accused number 3 and Kelly Khumalo. Mnisi said that he needed to see that statement, and he went through the heap of documents he had and could not find it. He then requested that the state furnish him with that statement because he needed to take proper instructions from accused number 3 before he could commence with his cross-examination. Well, Brigadier Gininda said the informed statement, the said statement is there. He said, I was informed by the state this morning that the statement is not there. Mnisi then said, what then do we do with this evidence by Mr. Gininda pertaining to the statement? Baloyi said, I did not inform Mr. Mnisi. We are not aware of such a statement. So in light of the fact that we cannot communicate with Brigadier Gininda since he's under cross-examination, he can take that up with Gininda in cross-examination. So can we say that Brigadier Gininda lied on the stand? Can we? Is it safe? We watched him confirm that the statement was there. Now it's a twist and a turn and a habaloo.
Now it's a link. Just continue.
So, yeah.
I think we have addressed this.
At this stage, he wanted to spin this, the interpretation of Steyn's evidence that maybe Gininda interpreted it wrong. And then Mnisi said it was not a question of interpretation. I want the statement. I want to take instructions. The judge insisted that he cross-examined Gininda on the existence or not of the statement. He said that it's there. And Mr. Gininda, please answer. You had the court, because at this point, the judge is the one who was asking Brigadier Gininda the question. And Gininda said, when we spoke about the statement, I indicated that I don't want to venture into Steyn's statement. I said there was a link. So we moved from there was contact between accused number 3 and Kelly Khumalo to now it being a link. And he said it's true. He said that there was a statement. And he said, I remember when the question came from Advocate Mnisi and it was put as to what type of a link, I stated it clearly that I'm not an expert. Mnisi stopped him right there and said, Mr. Gininda, you are not being cross-examined by me. Don't say it came from me. You see Ramosepele, how he was supposed to navigate this type of witness. You see an example of Mnisi doing. It did not come from me. You were under cross-examination with Ramosepele. Don't keep on misleading the court. You were not being cross-examined by me. You were being cross-examined by Mr. Ramosepele. I don't want you to explain. Now, about the existence of that statement. Is it there or not? And Gininda asked the judge for permission to speak. See now, when he starts rambling and giving all that extra information, he's giving it to the judge. Mnisi will not be accused of eliciting any evidence. So Gininda then said, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this when I don't have a chance to respond. He said that there was a link and that there's a statement where it links Miss Kelly Khumalo, and there appears to be accused number 3 there as well, and the other accused. That statement, he's given it to his colleague to get it to the state because he's under cross-examination. Then the judge said that there is no need to fight in a court of law. Mnisi, we're not fighting, we're just emphasizing. Mnisi told the judge, we're just emphasizing what we need to say. It's just an emphasis. And the judge asked, there was a lady who came in and she was talking about that statement, and she said she emailed it last week to Advocate Baloyi. We heard the statement was emailed last week to the state, and the judge asked the defense if they accept what the lady's telling, and if she's telling the truth when she says that she sent it last week. It was a weird question because Mnisi said he didn't get that statement, and Mshololo also said, no, I did not receive that statement, so she's lying. Baloyi showed the statement in a hard copy. I don't know how it moved from an email to a hard copy, because earlier on he said that he didn't have it, and now it mushroomed, and he said that he told the court that it was. Earlier on, he told the court that it was not there, but now it came, and it came in a hard copy, which was very strange. Mnisi said, he said the statement is not there, but now it's here, and he requested an adjournment to look at the voluminous statement because it was 39 pages. But he said that he did not disclose the statement because it's already on record. So Mnisi said, when he requested the statement, Baloyi said that they don't recall the statement, and Gininda said in the statement by staying, it was stated that there was communication between accused 3 and Kelly Khumalo. Then Nisi said that he's hamstrung. He can't be handed an exhibit like this and expected to continue cross-examination. Well, the judge asked Gininda to show the part which indicated that there was communication between accused 3 and Kelly Khumalo. Well, Gininda said that there were links between Kelly Khumalo, Fiso Ntuli. He also said Ntobisi Gadla Mncube, and Nisi wanted that to be shown on the screen. So there was quite some time that they spent waiting for the person who was going to connect, the laptop expert apparently. And Advocate Baloyi said that they will need to connect it, and there was a 15-minute adjournment. And when they came back, they now looked at the cell phone data analyst and Colonel Lamberta Stain's document. Court resumed, and the judge asked when the statement was handed up, and Baloyi said that he thinks it was on the 23rd of August last year. Colonel Lamberta Stain's statement was beamed in court, and the judge asked Brigadier Gininda to read it until the part where he says that there are links between Kelly and Mncube. So Gininda read page 41 where the alleged links were made, and he said that he mentioned the issue of links and not communication. So the number ending with 169 that is said to belong to Mtobisi Mncube.
Now, what are links now?
So he said, I don't know if I'm being misunderstood. When I'm saying that there was a link, I mean this. At no stage did I say there was a communication. I said linkages.
What are
the
linkages?
Linkages were the photos seen through the see-through bag. The assertion that he said that there was communication, he doesn't think that it was accurate, my lord. So now there's no longer any communication. There are linkages. And Gininda also requested that the decorum of the court be maintained and that the cross-examination be respectful.
Trying to shift away from what the mess that was apparent. Trying to shift away from that mess.
The judge still picked Gininda's side, and he said that they should read Stain's evidence and stop accusing the witness of falsifying evidence. So Baloyi still wanted to negotiate for Brigadier Gininda to come back after he's done with his exams. But after the letter that was read in court in the morning, Usebenzile, whoever you are, thank you so much.
Don't listen to them if they said you should go to Intlanya.
No, Bayaksugela, you are not.
Oh, Banojelo.
Jonas.
Interpret Jonas.
Yes,
should be ashamed of yourself.
Hawu baba Jonas thula phela. Hawu kahleni. Yo.
Ifuna indoda ehlebayo. Indoda ehlebayo nje ifunakala.
Okay guys, the lines are now open. I'm done. Yo, took a long time. But I'm done. Thank you, Lord.
I'm about to move. It's 2:30.
Oh my goodness. So guys.
Let's take few. Keep it short, guys, please. Mzansi, hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
What did I say to you guys today? What did I say? Did I not say? Let's look forward to the cluster crap that is going to unfold this week. I said that, did I not?
You did. You did. The
cluster
crap.
Yes, and did the cluster crap not unfold yesterday? It did, didn't it?
It did nicely. It unfolded nicely.
You know what? You know what? There was an uproar last week when my brother and my sister were criticizing Ramusipili. There was an uproar.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I called in, and I said, I am conflicted, right?
Yes.
So I can't really. Yeah, I'm a bit conflicted. So it's a wait and see for me.
Yes.
You know, today I agree with Mr. Ano when he says the train is gone. because I think I was waiting at the train station with my little suitcase, hoping that the train will come back and pick me up. But you know what? And this train is just not a normal metro train. It's a bullet train. The bullet train is gone 500 kilometers per hour. It's amazing. And it's not coming back. Yeah, violent that. And you know what? Ramosipini has been pushing shit up the creek in a little cut. And he's like, this cut has just been sliding back. Sorry, this cut it had so much shit that it just kept sliding him back. And you know what? It's so weird how then he says, he's not bothered by social media. Obviously, he is bothered by the criticism that happened last week. That is why he's mentioning it. He's trying to convince himself in his head he's not bothered. If he was not bothered, he wouldn't have mentioned it. He's bothered. You understand? So, Mr. I'm no longer waiting at the train station with my little suitcase. Suitcase, Mr. I'm gone because the train is not coming. Okay? So I'm going to find another mode of transport to get to the destination. Correct. And maybe you will explain to Mr. Anonymous what it means, because I don't even know what it means in English. All I know is that in that courtroom. You know what I mean? I have said before, correct, the self-importance that old man has placed on himself is shocking. Good, you know, these people, they think they are beyond reproach and they cannot be criticized, okay? Because they occupy these positions, you know, the public must just put up with their bullshit. Yes. You know what I mean? Yes. You know what I mean? You know, he even, you know, when they say, sometimes when you hang around people for a long time, you start to think you are like them. Because he sits with lawyers and everything. He thinks to learn like a lawyer. He forgets he's an interpreter. He's there to interpret. So, busy don't. You know what I mean? Like, why in that copies? What's that got to do with him? Nothing. His job is just to sit there, sit next to Janina and interpret. That is his job. They've got nothing to do with him at all. You know, and then, you know, Rata is busy reading this thing selectively. Did you see how long that letter was?
Yeah.
He only that letter was long, but he was selective. He was picking things to read. You understand? And Uka Oring. I think yesterday I told you he's all big talk and nothing. He wants to tell us for he got associations with Buma Buma. Did you hear what he said yesterday? JP addressed him as Brarata. Kidi Brorobo. They are not Kidi Bro, Brarata. You know what I mean? So and then you know what I mean? You know, he's addressing a friend, not an employee that he called from retirement to come and preside over this case. He's Kebraya. You know what I'm saying? So get appointment beside each home. You get me? So, and then he goes on and he gaslights the public and he talks bullshit. The author of the letter, they must not go to the toilet. Why don't they go to the toilet between 9:30 and 9:55 a.m.? Do they have loose bladders if they need toilet breaks every 45 minutes? You know what I mean? How disrespectful to insinuate where the public knows nothing about court proceedings. They forget what some of us who are watching this trial, we are professionals, we are experts in our areas of practice, we come from different backgrounds and we've been to courts giving evidence as experts and all these kind of things. We know how court runs. We don't have to be lawyers to know what court ranaya. Do you understand? And they're telling us about, you know, these prisoners have to be driven in. If court starts at 10 o'clock, why can't DCS make arrangements to ensure that those people are sitting in the dock by 10 o'clock? Do you understand? This is not the first high-profile case in South Africa. There's cases like about 2000. There were those cases that were college Chaugeta, the robbery, Pretoria. Those, we know this is not a first high-profile case. And the excuse here is that they finish at 3:30 because they don't want to be stuck in traffic for security reasons. This is not the first high-profile case in South Africa. There's been other high-profile cases in South Africa. So that is just a lame excuse. You understand? Yeah. They disrespect us and you know what I mean? And Mr. Ado, bless your heart for having some modicum of respect for Rata as a father. You understand? Now I have no respect for him because him being a father has got nothing to do with his job. Maybe got the HR. Maybe got the HR, it matters because his kids can be beneficiaries and the benefits are high. When we get hired, we don't get respect for parenthood. We get respect for our skills, and there's an expectation that we must deliver what we sold in the interview. And that delivery, when we get into the workplace, it better smell good. Do you understand?
Yes.
I may sound, yes. I may sound like I'm repeating myself, but this is not about justice. This is a chess game. Baloyi is moving pieces on a chessboard. Even if the media can pawn for them, then so be it. Hence, they hand over the email to the media to keep selling lies to the public who still think highly of MSM and be glued to their TV screens every night consuming rubbish. You know what I mean? This is a chess game. This is not about justice. I've got nothing to do with justice whatsoever. Chess game. We're watching a chess game here. You understand?
Yes.
But yesterday, the train was off the tracks and he's bringing it back. He's aligning the train back on the tracks. So maybe the train is coming, so we better pack our suitcases and wait at the station. Maybe
this one
we will be able to run
the station with you. This one I'm waiting
yeah,
with the station.
You know what I mean?
I have hope that the train will be coming.
You know? Yesterday was on point.
Yes.
He started okay, and I hope he maintains that momentum. And as Mr. Ano said, I want my lady queen on that side to pipe it down, control her emotions, rein her emotions in. He must be a lady and bring the facts forward.
Yes.
And at the court game, he must bring that machete and slice this guy bit by bit. This elephant, I slice it bit by bit because this elephant is huge, it's humongous, and it feels like it's bigger than everybody else. So I bonzo with that machete. I slice it, slowly slicing it bit by bit. But for her to be able to do that, she needs to rein her emotions in. I understand what is happening in there, frustrating and everything like that, and she's been disrespected for a very long time, but this is not time to be emotional. This is a fight. She's in a fight now. You understand? She needs to stay in the fight, and and they realize, you know what? Sometimes we have to lose battles to win the war. Let's try. I don't know. In reality, we spray perfume to blow crap to make it smell nice.
Yeah.
So let's look at it this way and say, we lost the battle, but we are going to win the war with the other ones that are coming. So let's keep filling up our perfume and spraying it on the bull crap until hopefully maybe it will start to smell nice.
Yes.
At some point.
Yes.
I love you guys. Take care.
Thank you.
I'll
Thank
see
you
on the
so
next.
much. Thank you for calling every day. I'm telling you, someone in the comments there.
Right. Guys, before, are we going to ignore what records were that one which had Spear on?
Oh,
the dates were being read and all of a sudden the date stopped.
He didn't read that. Oh yes, he read the dates. I was writing down.
And then they stopped.
Trying to track.
And then that's when
he stopped. He started now mentioning the numbers.
The numbers. General Spear.
And they said it's in a spider web.
Was it a call? Was it Kelly's record?
It was a chart of Kelly Khumalo's numbers in a spider web.
Mzansi, hello. I wonder when was the call made. Mzansi, hello.
Mzansi, hello. I wonder when was the call made.
Yeah. Hi, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
The background.
The background is it?
All right, good.
Is the background clear?
Hey, good night.
Yes.
Yeah, it's clear. I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Sure.
Okay. I want to take it back to Kelly, real quick, and I know a lot of people tune in to this channel, so actually, I'm glad I remembered. Before I do, I want to ask you two if Kelly is summoned to testify, either by the state or by the defense, what do you think she will say?
Good question. I would have to consider
I'm
the
really
facts.
asking you.
I would have to consider the facts of what is the status right now and how does it look for her. And if I have to answer that question, I would have to go through certain things that I don't want to touch. But I think I have an idea what she would say.
Okay. Something important you said was how it affects her or something like that, right? Now, I've been one of those who's been like sort of bashing her for a while, and I hope Kelly is one of those watching right now, watching this channel, and this is kind of like just I'm a nobody and a somebody just out there in the world, and this is what she needs to do because this is gonna set her free. Okay, I don't believe it. Well, I mean, I get personal, but let me just shoot straight forward. Kelly could completely end this trial. She could end this trial because if the state calls her, they've already let it be known that they named her the mastermind. So they're not her ally. They're not her friend. So she'll do no favors for herself giving any testimony because they'll twist her words, and in Ganinda's words, they'll corroborate anything that she'll say to bend to the state, right? But if the defense calls her, I don't think it matters either way. I think what is best for her to do is to tell the complete truth as of what she knows, meaning from that night and anything after in terms of the crime scene, the police, and anything that she knows that she can prove. Because again, there's no one doing any favors for her in this trial at this point. She would have to be, by circumstance, she would have to be team defense because there's no link, and we know that because the state can't prove that. All she has to do is tell the truth about Longway and then tell the truth about the revolver. What that is going to do subsequently is going to exonerate accused number 3, because what about this pistol that they found with a matching bullet? Well, she can also say, well, listen, we got a neighbor named Maggie Perry who came over and cleaned up, and somehow the next day there was a bullet there. I don't know anything about that. All I know is we all saw a revolver, the one with the wheel. That destroys Ganinda. It destroys Beloy. It destroys Stain. Everything is like, of course they're gonna call her a liar. That's what the state is gonna do. But I'm saying, think about it. She is not gonna be as much trouble as everyone's saying. Everyone is saying, "Oh, Kelly's gonna go to jail. Kelly's gonna go to jail. Let me tell you something. Kelly is not gonna go to jail before Ganinda. If the wheels of the law go proper. Let me tell you something else. Kelly will not go to jail before Khumalo. She will not go to jail before Zandy. You know why? Because they lied under oath. She was never sworn in yet. So she can go there and tell the truth and she'll be fine. All she has to deal with is a little bit of public scrutiny for a while. She's been dealing with that already for the last 10 years. At least this time, she can gain some, I don't know, Ubuntu or whatever, anything that, make her feel bubbly, again, make an album, I don't know, whatever, right? Yeah. But at least do the right thing. The Meyiwa family already said they want to get to know the child. There's no point okay, you made a statement, excuse my language, you fucked up. Safiso already said in the podcast and Chill that everyone is going through this because they already made a statement, so they have to keep going through this. And that's the only reason why Ganinda has so much control, because there's the statements, the OB book, and all that bullshit, that cop stuff. So at the end of the day, Kelly can break this entire thing. Now, what I'm concerned about is that if the judge foresees defeat from the state so early that he'll allow something and anything to end this trial or interfere or cause another de novo. Because the way I see it, the state is going to close, the defense is going to start, Ngomezulu is going to come back, and Nisi is going to kick ass. It's gonna be finished, and the judge is gonna, and like I said in the comments, he's gonna look like a madman by the time this trial is over if he convicts those 5. Especially if Kelly testifies, and especially if they didn't call Maggie Peary already. So, I'm saying he might allow something, God forbid he passes away. He already said that they run the risk of him dying during this trial. He said it as a joke, but jokes are pretty prophetic too. So anything can happen. So the state has been dragging ass for 2 years, and I think they're trying to drag ass until after the recess. And then they want the defense to start by next year. So I think but anyway, Kelly could end this thing if somebody would just call her, because she's not going to sit there and let anyone just call her no mastermind. She's not going to do that. And so what are you going to say? Robbery gone wrong? That only helps the state, but then all they're going to do is call you a mastermind anyway. The defense already knows it wasn't a robbery gone wrong. All you have to do is just tell the truth. So anyway, that's so if Kelly's listening, I hope you don't need a lawyer for that. I'm saying, but hey, worst thing that could happen, they'll pass out defeating charges like ANC t-shirts. She'll probably get one, but she could strike a deal. If this is America, she could strike a deal with the prosecutor, but this prosecutor below you is a witch. So who knows what can happen? He needs to get one too. Defeating ends for everybody. So I don't think she'll go down the hardest. I think she can retain something. She could, a lot of people will go down, police, witnesses, all of that, but she can still save herself and save her name. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Here's a spinner for you. A nice one, this one. I like it. But here's the question. I like putting hypothesis. Let's say, if I was the defender, I would leave Kelly out. Mm-hmm. There's this wild card. Mm-hmm. Maybe the theory of Mandisa is not done. Maybe it's not done.
What makes you say that?
Zandi's pushing it.
Yeah, moya.
Well, Kelly comes and say, yeah, guys, yes, these are my numbers. These guys called me. I'm a public figure. My numbers are out there. Mandisa probably had these numbers. He gave them to this guy so that it looks like I was the one calling them, or I was the one in a call with them. When I tried to call them back, I couldn't find them or something like that. But, there's a story. And then after that, it becomes the issue of Kelly being free. Oh, that bag of money? No, that money you can always say I got it from internet.
And don't forget also the initial interview that Zandi had where she was talking about how they were getting threats.
So that means this guy still remains in Gabi. That were sent. The mastermind has just changed.
Anything is possible.
It's not a corner per se for Kelly. There's always a way you can navigate around that and say, yeah, these guys were calling me. Anyone calls me. I didn't even notice that these guys were calling me. These numbers were not saved in my numbers. They were calling. It's a call. And I tried to call back, and if there was a call that is going out to those guys, because someone calls you need to return the call. And then that was my only mistake.
But it would also be a blunder for her to admit that, because these calls are so-called WhatsApp calls, and WhatsApp calls were not in existence in
Zanzi, hello.
2014.
Zanzi, hello.
Hi, Lizano and his Emily.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for taking my call. I know it's actually getting late now.
Yes.
We are getting into the 5 a.m. soon, guys.
Yeah.
Well, you're up, so sorry for that. I've got a few points there I just wanted to put through. The first one, I know the letter that was sent to JP to Rata, addressed to Rata. I think, guys, they're taking this letter in a very bad way, and this letter is just being honest truth of what has been happening in the court case. If you have been watching this court case, you know that they don't start at 10 when they say they start at 10. They start 15:15 or 30:30, and then they go to tea break. Tea break is supposed to be 30 minutes. I wonder what kind of tea you drink in 30 minutes, because that sounds like a lot of time. And then when they go for lunch, they go for 1 hour, but they come back at 2:15. That is what literally this letter is talking about. And the letter doesn't say don't go to the toilet, don't have sickness. No, it's just literally saying on a daily basis, that is what is going through. That is what we are going through in this court case, which makes the court case a joke. But they all... instead, I was obviously thinking maybe the judge might have a problem with it, Baloyi might have a problem with it. You could see based on the comments that they made. But I was a bit surprised by Ramsipele now also taking an issue about a comment that has been made. It's a constructive criticism that was coming from that letter, and it was supposed to make the process better. If you had watched Oscar Pistorius case in, I think it was 2012 or I don't know, 2018, I was working down at the Telkom Towers. It was really on time, and even the hour or the tea break, and it went even late. If they were really serious about this court case, then you can't always have an excuse why the accused are arriving late, so you are starting late. No, that is not because you're starting late. That's why they can come late. If you always get there at 9:30 and then you're waiting for them to be at 10, they will be there on time. Because I mean, if an accused and you're going to court, don't you just wake up and bath and prepare to be transported? What else are you preparing to do? That is, so why are you coming at half-past? So, and I don't know what security issue that they make that they must leave at 3:30. If they think there's a security risk of traffic at 3:30, why can't they wait until 5:30? Because 5:30 traffic will be gone. With that, I used to work in Pretoria and I was staying in Joburg. And if you leave at 5:30, traffic is not bad. So that's one. Okay. Two, Mr. Ano,
yes,
and endgame. Communication between accused 3 and Kelly Kuma. Right? Let me read you what Giminda said. Yeah, I have it down here. The report that I got and is contained in Colonel Stein's statement, there is a link between, let me say, communication between Kelly and accused 3 in a nutshell. What does that say? It does not say there is a link only. It says there is communication between. Look at the proceedings on the 8th of November.
Yes.
You will see, you will listen to what Giminda said. He said there is communication. And I'm not an IO, says eminent Mr. Ano, but I know for a fact that there was alleged communication between Kelly and accused 5. It's on the 2nd of August and on the 15th of October. From the top of my head, I know that. But accused 3, none. And we did say that there is none. It's a good thing that Minister can stand up there. The good thing about Minister, I like him for that. If he's not happy about your response, you would wait until we get a response before we go forward. Because if you say, I'll come back to it, you even forget about it, and then it just keeps on lying there, and then you don't know what way you're pursuing. So it's a good thing. I think, Minister, I hope during this break time when they are waiting for him to write exams, I must go and listen to what that guy said, and they must play the record for him to say, you are saying there is a link, but here you say there is communication. That's what he said. Okay, that's one point. And then I'll go and say, you know, the issue of saying IO says I did not know accused 3 to 5 before the confession. He said he was not aware of accused 3 to 5 before the confession of accused 2.
Yes.
Which was in 2016 or whatever, 17 June, yeah, somewhere there. It's not correct because I've got 2 points. He says Mapisa was already a suspect from the diary of Buteles. I think the lady is Angela something Buteles. He says in the docket they note that he was a suspect. That's one, eh?
Yeah.
And then the second point, he says Nkani is labeled as the head of Nkabi, based on Absalom's statement that was taken in 2019, before the confession. Yeah. So obviously the guy knew about this guy. Because and these are just 2 examples.
Yeah.
Mapisa, there is a note in the diary. Nkani, he was told by Absalom that this is the head of Nkabi. So he knew about this guy. He already had an idea who he is. Yeah. And then the other point, Mr. Arno, I was just in the same boat as you elaborated earlier when you were saying the implication through statements. I cannot get it through my head that a person writes a statement that implicates me and he does not come to testify so that it can be tested if it's true or not, and then it is said that it was taken by the investigating officer, so it is the honest truth. I can't get my head around that law that allows such, because I mean, then if I've got 3 of my police guy and then I want to implicate you, Mr. Anomalous, I need to find 3 people to write a statement and then you are down, we are going down, which is not the honest truth. Yeah. And then correctly pointed out, the accused need to build their case not around the state witnesses that they have not come to testify. They must build their own defense based on their own evidence. And if the state witness who is not yet come is supporting that story that they are going to put through, they can then call that person. They must not just call anyone who has not been picked by the state, because you can see it's just the state trying to introduce their statements into evidence and then making them valid evidence, because the defense has called that person now. Yeah. To accept that statement, because I cannot just agree in my head the statement for Sifiso Zungu, who is Gwabin, and then you can see even the confusion for this Makimbi guy who's in the taxi whatever issue in Nongoma, and this same Makimbi guy is also implicated by accused one in a statement. So in the end, it's just a lot of things that are happening same time. So those are my few pointers. I will allow you guys to rest. Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Right, guys. Thank you. Good points. Don't come and ruin this. This is the time where I say, good morning. It's a bye from me. I know people are still calling. Shame. Hey. How do you 1 minute? Hello.
Hello, Njani.
Siyaphila mfethu njani?
Yeah, please. Yes. I'm gonna be very short. Ukhuluma namadoda lapha eCape Town.
Yes, madam. Yebo baba.
To me, this is a chess game.
Yeah.
Don't touch is a move.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the defense, they mustn't call anyone who's in the state. They didn't call him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of loopholes. Even Advocate Mnisi, he picked up that from the onset. Mnisi, he was a prosecutor. He know exactly. He didn't take that document because it's not supposed to go like that. They received the email. What is on that document is not the one the prosecutor is talking about. It's a new information they put through those brigadiers liars. So it's a blessing in disguise what this lawyer youth was starting. So the brigadier is too comfortable. As a result, he make a lot of lies. Now, the challenge now, how is gonna go out at those lies with Mnisi and Mshololo and Mgomezulu. The state, the plan, it was based, Mgomezulu is going to start. Now, blessing in disguise, Mgomezulu gets sick. The planning out of the window.
Yeah.
Even Ramsepili, it was shocked. He wasn't even expecting he's going to cross-examine. The letter issue from the judge. Those people, they just playing that letter. It's very powerful.
Mm.
The JP send on them, tell them what you're doing, guys. The country is watching. Here is the proof. It's not about that letter. It's about what they did. How many people they after what they did. Even they have a guards to go and tell the JP what those people are doing. How many things the JP already pick up on this case. I believe Rata even today, yesterday, sorry, it was in himself. Now he's starting to shake his mouth now to tell Gininda something, but Gininda don't pick up. On Nisi, this case is going to be finished. Trust me. They mustn't call anyone. They must only deal with the statement. They already have a lot of statements. It's them. They only must deal with those things they already bring. They mustn't call anyone. You call Kelly, you call what, you call what. You put yourself in a trap. Just deal with those all statements. Even those people are passed away. No one, even they already received a death certificate. Those people will never exist. They must only, it's just what I see this case. But now, I'm still following you guys. You do a very good job. I'm still having a problem with my phone. So the reason why I'm just calling, I'm not even, I saw even the charts, all those guys, Caesar, all of them. I'm still following you. You're doing a very, very, very good job. You are the only person I understand. There's a lot of groups, but the others, they pick and choose. When someone who don't choose any side, who only tell us something, what is on the table now, then you discuss that. You don't know anything, you don't want to research about anything, you only deal with something, it was happening in the court. Everyone will know exactly. Thank you very much, guys, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The understanding of Mzansi. All is alleged and
the views
it's not our views.
Opinions expressed on the channel are those of the individuals.
Yes.
They're not of the
The name of the channel is also alleged. Yeah, that's how it is.
Everything is alleged. Yes.
Yes. So thank you, Nat. Thank you, Nolkanyo Ngao. Thank you, Tembelan Kanya. Thank you, Nanjelop. Thank you very much, Colin Lovu. Thank you, Samuel Radebe. Thank you, Chuku Anna. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Zidi Anna Mohapi. Thank you, Mashishiwane. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't hear that one properly. But it's fine. Look at
Mashishiwane. That's what it says. Thank you, Sizwe 18. Thank you, Sizwe 18. They already mentioned your name. Mlungis Emmanuel. Thank you, Lola. Thank you, Doka Shabalala. Thank you, Hombakazi. Thank you, Bongani Mendu. Thank you, Nomusa Ndiweni. Thank you. Let's see. I saw Beggar. Thank you, Beggar, in advance before I even go any further. Ignatia, thank you very much. We appreciate you guys. All of you, even if I don't call your name, guys. Joe's Bila, thank you. Let's see who I'm missing. Mbasi, Moroka, thank you. Our member, Dipuo, thank you. Colin Lovo, I think I've mentioned you. Yeah, people are mostly Busison Lovu. Thank you. Yeah, Mamfuneka, thank you. Let's see. Makampa, thank you. Uncle Nails, thank you. Shanjiwe Sibanda. Call, I guess you are in Canada or America. Shanjiwe. Interested on the caller that called us. Bongani Mendo, okay, I've mentioned you. Ben Hu, thank you. No Musa, okay, I've mentioned No Musa. So people here were just basically repetitive, but let's see from the top. Yeah, that's Lungsani Thon Lovu. Thank you. We appreciate you guys. Babalo, Pageli, thank you. Elizabeth, thank you. Let's see. Yeah, that's it, Emily, from my side. Do you have anyone that you want to call out? No. Okay. Tulitus, hey, thank you. Malaji, Johannes, thank you. Me too, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Nonoza, thank you. Thank you. Bongani, I've mentioned Yuchuku, and yeah, guys, please, on your way out, like the video, make sure that you share the video if you can, and we'll appreciate you if you do that. And yeah, they are gonna be adverts. Please do watch them and join membership. And thank you for those who joined membership, increase their membership. Thank you. We appreciate you. We saw you. Just that today it was a bit hot. Yeah, but we are grateful to this internet for behaving also. Paul Manjani, thank you. We are very grateful. It behaved. It never gave us problem. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's it, guys. Say Vala Njaganje, thank you again. Until tomorrow, we are doing something, right?
Yeah, we should.
Thank you.
There's a lot to talk about, and we've promised some of the content.
Yeah, that's a bias for me. Maybe that's the time we'll visit Mapiri. Since they said yes, we will visit Mapiri, and we'll tell you what we are thinking. Yeah. But for now, bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Until tomorrow.